Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Difference Makers Show. This is your time to get inspired, motivated, and empowered to tap into your highest potential by listening to stories, tips, and strategies from difference makers, people like you who are passionate about making a positive difference in the world. And we have a very special show for you today. But before I start, I would like to ask all of you to please participate by writing in your name and where you're hanging out from in the comment stream. That's a great way for all of us to get to know each other and get the most from our program. I would like to first introduce our wonderful wingman, my friend and colleague, the host of the Saturday Morning Smarty Show, Roland Takaoka. Roland, where are you hanging out from?
Thank you, Lynn. I'm hanging out from Rancho Santa Margarita in Southern California, Orange County.
That's wonderful. And can you tell us, we have some guests joining us today. Has anyone come on that has written their name down on the comment stream? Uh-oh, wait a minute, Roland. By accident, I pressed mute. I don't hear you.
Let me take a look.
There you are, Roland. Okay.
Let's see.
Well, whether you're listening, go ahead.
We've been dealing with so many issues with the setup, and it's very common things. The Hangout's been having problems lately, as documented by several hosts. But we've just barely got online in totality with all these things fixed. So that's why we're kind of playing catch up now. Okay, well, basically, it looks like Rain Dowell's out there, Lynn Lynn Hawkins is out there, Joan Corber, Adeline Hornlin, Dave Moore, Wayne Meter, and many more. I'll get to Nicole Levac is out there, and
thank you,
and others. We'll get to them all. Bill Graham.
Oh, that's great. Well, I want to thank all of you for joining us. I know you all have busy schedules, and this show is going to be very special as well. Our topic is Global Healing, where you can join the movement and leave a legacy. And it ties in with Earth Day that's happening on April 22nd. Our objective today is to open your mind and your heart to be able to experience a healing, because it all starts from ourselves, right, from within. And I felt that today's show was sort of meant to be. I was led to find a woman named Teresa Wolfe through a mutual friend, Steve Taubman. So if Steve listens later, I wanted to thank him for introducing me to Teresa. And then Teresa introduced me to her friend, Kim, who also has a similar passion to raise global awareness and help raise globally conscious children. So I would like to give you a little introduction about our two guests first. In fact, they knew each other for 5 months through emails and perhaps through talking, but never actually got to meet in person until we did a Google Hangout preparation for this call just 2 days ago. So this shows you the power that we have at our fingertips, the power of Google Hangouts. Teresa Wolfe is the founder of GlobalHealingProjects.com. And she's also the founder of Welcome Harvest, LLC, a company that's manufacturing quality herbal products. Her products are prepared with organically grown herbs geared toward restoring balance to the body. In addition to that, she has a long list of credits, and I'll just briefly highlight them. She's a microbiologist, a food scientist, an environmental educator, and an eco-herbalist. And she's been teaching classes, seminars, and workshops on environmental and holistic health for over 25 years. So without further ado, let me welcome Teresa Wolfe. And Teresa, can I give you a little sound effect? Teresa, where are you hanging out from? Uh-oh, Teresa, could you unmute yourself, please? Just click on that microphone tab. I want to say to everyone, this is Teresa's very first Hangout on Air, so I think we all need to give her a big round of applause one more time. Okay, Teresa, where are you hanging out from?
I live in St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin, which is about an hour and 15 minutes from Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota.
Okay, I'm going to try to make you a little louder here for us, Teresa, because it's. Let me just make you a little. Okay, can you just say again what you just said for us?
I live in St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin, which is about an hour and a half from the Minneapolis-St. Paul, Minnesota region.
Great, thank you. And I'd like to also introduce your friend and colleague, Kim. Kim Primatic. She's the founder of Raising, let me come back to me for just a moment. She's the founder of Raising+Conscious Kids, which I think is a great term, raisingconsciouskids.com. Kim is a corporate IT gal turned Fortune 100 corporate trainer. She's a radio host and a mentor who has helped thousands of people transcend stress and create more success and harmony in their lives, their families, and their careers. So without further ado, let's welcome Kim. And Kim, where are you hanging out from?
Hi, everybody. Well, thank you so much, Lynn, for having me today, and as well as Teresa. And I am hanging out for my very first live Google Hangout from Pittstown, New Jersey. We are one of the very last suburbs of Manhattan. So if you're in Manhattan, you take the Lincoln Tunnel and you keep going west, get to Pennsylvania, and come back. That's where I am.
And we're all here gathered together from all over the world, actually, even our listeners, to be able to have an experience today. So I want to let everyone know that we have set an intention, all of us together, that not only are we sharing our stories, but we want you to have an experience, and you're going to be able to have something really special. So without further ado, I would like to turn the moment over now to Teresa, and I'd like you each to address the question of, in your story, your personal development story, briefly, how did you get to where you are right today? What led you to this, your project, which I think is so big and so important, Global Healing Projects?
Well, it's interesting. Thank you for that question. I basically am very interested in the environment, and I'm a scientist, and I have worked a lot out in out in nature, doing herbal walks and collecting herbs, and also doing resource management. And I've always wanted to do something as a mission deep down to promote individual and environmental health globally. And I feel that my background as an alternative healthcare professional and my work as an environmental educator and my deep desire to use plants as medicines has led me to what I'm doing today.
Beautiful. How about you, Kim? Let me turn it over to you. How did you get to where you are right now with your programs and your work with people all over the world?
Yeah, thank you for asking. So I was in IT for many years. That's what I was schooled in, and I enjoyed it. And what happened was when my daughter was born, that's when everything changed for me. And I just decided that I didn't want to be responsible for anybody's multi-billion-dollar logistics system anymore. And it was actually through a little bit of a health bump that I met my teacher, my first teacher, who kind of blew the windows and doors off for my consciousness. And that's when I started my really personal development journey, because what I realized was all my patterns, all my conditioning, all my subconscious and conscious beliefs that served me and weren't serving me, that were creating stress in my life and everything, they came from really prenatal to age 8. I mean, that's what science is showing us now. Dr. Bruce Lipton does a lot of work in that. And so that, when I realized that, and my daughter was 18 months old at that time, and I said, okay, I missed the first 18 months, not missed it, but you know what I mean. And so I thought, I really want to kick my, which had already been evolving my personal, awareness. I had always been into that, but it really kicked it into high gear. And that's how, to make a long story short, that's how I became a corporate trainer in health and wellness. So I went from being a stressed out corporate executive to mentoring corporate executives on how to, manage stress and create more joy and ease in their lives and their careers. And really what emerged from me, they say that your career kind of reveals itself to you, and I believe that now, because the seminars that had the highest attendance were anything to do with families, raising healthy eaters, anything to do with managing the stress around families. And so that's how my niche kind of evolved, and Raising Conscious Kids kind of evolved as my platform. And now, like you said, we have a weekly radio show. We have a community that's online, and it's just my joy and passion. So I'm delighted to be here today.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's so important. You know, all of you are really passionate about, if you think about it, we all, even listening, I think we're all tied together for a reason. That's my higher thought behind all this. And that even the people listening, we're all drawn to this energy of wanting to make a difference. And in this particular case in our show, being in touch with the earth is really our roots. You know, it's our essence. So you both are addressing a really big challenge, the idea of global healing. And I'd first like to ask a big question is, how can we learn to live in harmony with the globe? It's such a big thing. And I have my thoughts. I'd like to hear what you have to say. And everyone listening, please put in your thoughts, too. How can we learn to live in harmony with the planet? So, Teresa, what are your thoughts?
Well, thank you. That question to me is something that we'd have to look within for that answer. If we have angst within, then that gets out-pictured in our world. And I feel that if we want to live in harmony with the planet, then we have to look for harmony in our own personal lives. And we have to have that intention with who we relate to and with our environment where we live. And that doesn't mean you can't squash a mosquito, but it means that you have to understand that every being, every animal, every person, everything has its place, and have respect for that.
That's true. How about you, Kim? What do you have to say about that? How do we learn to live in harmony?
Yeah, how do we learn to live in harmony? That's a big question, right? So I would agree with what Teresa said in terms of it starts from within. And I believe in being very intentional around everything. And so that includes, what's coming to me now to share is, you know, we look at the news, we look at what's published, we look at a lot of the talk that surrounds us, that kind of is all around us. It's negative, right? We hear about global warming. We hear about the ozone layer being depleted. My son is currently, I mean, talk about, you know, divine timing. My son is working on a project on landfills. And so it's depressing him because he's very much like I am. He loves animals. He's always loved nature. And the research that he's doing on landfills and what's going on the earth right now, it's depressing. And I thought, like, yes, it's good to be educated, but then we really have to manage our energy around staying positive and looking at the solutions. And like Teresa said, starting from within and then really visioning out what we want it to look like. And just being very mindful of where we put our energy and where, you know, what we do on a daily basis. So I believe in like an overarching approach and then a practical approach as well.
Thank you. Let's take a listen to what our audience are saying right about this topic. I love what Dave Moore, hi Dave, another great spiritual being and friend out there, is saying, we are all dots on the planet. Only when we connect the dots will we see the great plan. Oh, I love that. Thank you, Dave. And Roland, I would like to even ask you if you wouldn't mind sharing your thought. Oh, we have another one. Cynthia. Hi, Cynthia. Gardner O'Neill. We live in harmony when we are in harmony with ourselves. That is so true. Yes, I agree with Teresa and Kim. Thank you for sharing that. And Roland, would you, if you can come back on, Roland, I would just like to ask you to share your insight from when you're a spiritual friend. What are your thoughts on living in harmony with the planet?
Well, they nailed it. The key element is being in harmony ourselves, and we're going to set the vibration that aligns with it, with us, among other people in the same vibrational plane that achieves the harmony. So what we do is we want to repel anything negative by avoiding the vibration and adhere to that which is like the vibration that we want to enforce. And we join the basically join the solution.
Right, right. Thank you. Yeah, it's like we have to, in this multi-sensory world, we're being bombarded with so much. We really have to, I think, focus our time and energy on what we want to send out and what we want to create within ourselves. That's why I think we're all here. And to give us an experience, I would like to invite Teresa to share her visualization exercise so we all can have a special experience today. So, Teresa, this is something that you shared with me earlier, and I thought it'd be great to have everyone experience it. It's called the preparation before Earth Day. Is that correct?
Correct. So this is if you sign up for the project. That basically, I'm just asking people to take 1 minute, one time on Earth Day to get quiet and be inspired to take one action with the same intent of restoring health and balance to the planet. I believe that energy of everybody combined by doing this on that day will have a very positive synergistic effect. And if you sign up for that program, globalhealingprojects.com, my website is right there, you will get a free pre-event visualization that will help us to set the energy for it. So I'd like to do that with everyone right now. That's okay.
Great, thank you.
All right, so forgive me for reading it, but I don't want to mess it up. So please just settle and relax and close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Please focus your attention on your heart as though you were sending light to it. Feel your heart expanding with light and love. Next, imagine a white light radiating outward from your heart. Visualize holding the earth in your hands, about the size of a basketball, and surrounded with this white light. Think, may all be well. May there be health and harmony on the planet. Picture a healthy earth with clean air, clean waters, and healthy soils. And embrace the energy you feel while holding this thought for just a few minutes. Send a message of compassion to all people and beings on Earth and to Mother Earth herself. Move aside and surrender this power to the universe or God, whichever is the God of your understanding, and let go of the outcome. Slowly open your eyes.
Oh, thank you so much, Teresa. I feel a calmness right now. I don't know how all you feel, but I think because I'm even speaking slow, I almost feel like crying. I think because I personally get very frazzled by technology, glitches. And before our show, we were dealing with some glitches, so I may have come off a little, nervous beforehand, but I feel so much better. Let me hear what Dave Moore is saying something. Oh, Dave, thank you. Apart, we are smart, but together we are brilliant. We are, thank you, Dave. In fact, our guests, both Kim and Teresa, have offered to stay after the live broadcast to share their thoughts and meet each of you. Kim, would you like to just share a moment how you feel from this beautiful visualization?
Oh, so powerful. Thank you, Teresa. And And so for me, it just takes a minute to really tune in and achieve that alignment. And so for me, I went to the ocean, and I was just, maybe as Dave said as well, I was just part of the ocean and just enjoying that and just visioning, a happy, healthy planet and each of us happy and healthy on it.
I want to ask a question back to Teresa. Some people, skeptical or negative people, might say, well, what difference does one person make? I want to play devil's advocate. How do you feel about the power of one in this case? We just did a beautiful visualization. What difference can that make?
Oh, thanks. This is so good, because that's the point of this whole event. The point is, we all felt good when we did this visualization, but we felt the same at the same time. So we amplified that positive energy that we're now putting out to everyone. And this is valuable, because if we all do this, at least my goal is that we all do this at the same 24-hour period of Earth Day, and we're all, as Dave Moore said, we're all being brilliant together. And what I like about this, it's simple, and even children can do this. And this is a way for children to learn the skill of getting quiet, thinking about what you want, and then releasing it, and so they can learn not only how to do this for big problems like what's happening with the environment, but also little problems at school or taking a test or something like that. This is a powerful tool for big goals and little, and I would just like to bring that out to people through this project, as well as try and focus on a better place for
Great. So everyone, you can go to globalhealingprojects.com to register. It's free, and be able to have that experience. Rain, thank you for sharing. Beautiful visualization exercise, Teresa. Well, thank you. I want to turn to Kim now, because Kim, you've outlined a 3-step system that you use and teach with your clients, which I think you also told me earlier you can share with your children, because we really all have, I think, that responsibility. I have 2 boys, 24 and 28. They're big. I still feel that responsibility, and I think anyone with children listening right now feels some responsibility toward helping our children be conscious, being really aware. So would you share with us your 3 steps?
I would love to, Lynn. Thank you. Yeah, so from an IT background, I kind of have that left brain. So I love the visionary stuff, and then I love to make it practical and applicable. And so the system's very simple. I'm not saying it's easy, but I think the truths in life can be that way. So like applying it to what Teresa did with Earth Day. The first step is clarity. So for instance, actually we use this to manifest a scholarship for my daughter. Would you like to hear about the steps that so a practical application of it?
Sure, of course, sure.
Okay,
Please
great.
share it with us.
Okay, great. So for us, the first step is clarity. And so what was going on with us is my daughter was a sophomore in high school playing volleyball. And so she was playing up on a team, and that meant she was playing with juniors who were starting the college application process. And if anybody has had children that have desired to go to college, it can be very, very stressful, right?
Right, exactly.
Yes. So you're looking at schools and the cost and geographic and grades and SATs. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So there was a lot of conflict. And in the midst of conflict, sometimes you get your clarity, right? So what do we desire? Well, we desired a great college for my daughter, but the other added thing was she wanted to play volleyball. So if you know anything about sports, there are different divisions that people could play at. She wanted to play at the top. She said, if I could, I'd love to play at Division I volleyball. So that created another level of stress in the beginning. And eventually, in the midst of all this turmoil, I said, now wait a minute, let me put my coaching hat on I'll never forget sitting at my desk, and I just had like an aha moment, and I said, okay, we're not going to do this for the next 2 years. I said, let's take a moment, and so that led to my step 2 moment, which was creation, right? So I said, okay, we're going to use the tools that we know how to use. I learned a process called night school, and it's a type of meditation, visualization. It's very specific. And so I had taught my daughter that and my son that. And so we did our process, and we visioned. We visioned being on the other side of this process. We really got into the feeling of being, you know, she's committed. She's committed to a school. She's got a 4-year scholarship. She's playing on a great team with a wonderful coach. We really, you know, and kids get this so easy. They can really get into that energy of, you know, here, you know, kids can just do this super easy because their imaginations haven't been, you know, thwarted yet. And so we really got into that energy, and that's step 2. That's creation. And in that moment, I believe that's when, you know, there are many branches in life. Our life is just a series of choices and branches, and you go this way or you go that way. And in that moment, we created, because of our clarity, we knew what we didn't want, so we knew what we wanted. We created that vision, and then, I mean, it's amazing. It's just amazing. I'm so grateful when every time I tell this story, is that connection. The step 3 is connection. So we were in that place of knowing. We were in that place of, it's a done deal. It's already taken care of. We just need to you know, she needed to keep playing, keeping her grades up, but just keep taking the steps, one step after the other. And what happened was within 2 weeks, I got an email inviting her to try out for this team that totally set her up on a different level. Every person on this team gets D1 scholarships. And I mean, we feel overwhelmingly blessed. It's $250,000. We feel so blessed. Oh my gosh. So the steps are, yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing. So it's clarity, creation, connection. And it's not, you know, it's simple. I'm not saying it's easy. We didn't learn these things in school. We didn't learn how to manage our energy and stay in that faith zone, in that belief zone. I didn't learn that in school.
Right. Well, what you're saying, though, I'm sure everybody who's listening is aware of this, that this is not just for children. This is for all of us. Right, Kim?
Yes.
We all can take those 3 steps and get the most out of it. Clarity, creation, connection. We are, you know, I knew this was going to happen. We have such a good topic that the time is just flying by. Thank you, Roland, for being so good at keeping track of our time. We are going to conclude in just a minute, and then I would like everyone who is listening, if you have a few minutes of extra time, feel free to join us in our green room that's right here. Roland will be giving out the link in just a minute. But I want to encourage everyone to check out the websites of both Teresa, I'm going to put you up there, Teresa, globalhealingprojects.com, and also Kim Primatic's website, Raising Conscious Kids, because we are just scratching the surface here. Global healing, as you've experienced, hopefully, I've been getting goosebumps listening to your stories. Global healing starts with each of us, and we all need to work on ourselves first, and that's a good feeling. So before we conclude, I would like to ask each of the people on the screen, including Roland, to share we call it, I guess, a popcorn moment, a takeaway thought or word that you would like to encourage everyone to take with them, both now and into the future. So I'm going to turn to you, Teresa. What would you like to have our listeners remember?
Thanks. What I'd really like for everyone to remember is I think it'd be a great idea to take Kim's process into this Earth Day event and try to connect and, well, create. Thanks, Kim. You're going to have to do this again, but take that 3-step process into this Earth Day event. The most important takeaway thing I'd really like for everyone to have, though, is the concept of look for what you want in the world. If you want a world that's kind, if you want the world that's healthy, look for that. Don't look for what you don't want. Don't look for invasive species. Don't look for a rotten Congress or whatever it is you focus on that's negative. Keep your mind, just like Kim says, on that goal of a wonderful, healthy planet Earth. Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful. Kim, what would you like to give to our listeners? What thoughts would you like to leave? I think you also have a giveaway, too, as well.
So first, I just want to express my appreciation to you, Lynn, and just for this amazing opportunity. Like I said, this was my first live hangout like this on the internet, so it was very cool. And I just feel such a connection, with everybody that's here, and the yearning for and the possibilities for consciousness and for possibilities. And my belief is we create the new earth. And my Raising Conscious Kids community, I'd like to invite everybody to that, because we're the leaders. We're the ones that are leading the way here, I believe, in consciousness. If you're on this call, if you were called to be here or watch this after the fact. So please join us at our community. We love to co-create, and that's how this event came to be. And just step into your power. Just enjoy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Great. I love that. Great words. Step into your power. Roland, what would you like to offer to our listeners? Can you unmute yourself? I think, there we go. What are some parting words? You have a lot of wisdom to share, I know.
I would wrap it up by saying, everyone is in alignment that you're speaking today, and I love hearing what Lynn and Teresa are saying. And it's all in alignment with what you promote too, Lynn, and that is to be the solution and to be the change that we want to see, because it starts within us, right?
Beautiful. That is absolutely true. And I want to just share a quote that Teresa has on her website. I just love this. It's something to take away. It's from a man named Tim O'Reilly, and he said, "Pursue something so important that even if you fail, the world is better off with you having tried." So my parting word is believe. Believe in yourself. I decided to take a leap today because I hadn't planned this hangout very far in advance, really. It was less than a week, and I just thought, let's try it. And Teresa and Kim were willing to jump in with me and let's make it a go, and Roland was willing to help step up to the plate and make this happen. So thank you all. Believe in yourselves. I believe in you, and we all can believe in each other, and we'll make this a better planet, a global healing for all of us. So Roland, if you would be kind enough to share the link, and I want to say thank you all again for listening. I will be out of town next week to visit my dad, who I haven't seen in a long time, in Florida, and then I will be coming back again the following weeks and encouraging each of us to just dare to empower ourselves and be all we can be. So thank you all again. Please check the comment stream for the link, and if you have a few minutes, join us and get to meet Teresa and Kim and Roland. Thank you again. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye. Thank you.